on the posting, a little back log. Anyway, on the posting, I put up on the blog talk for the radio show. I put up about 5 pictures. Put up one of Sean Bell. Put up one of Trayvon Martin, of course. I put up one of, I believe Oscar Grant was in there. A black man in his 60s, I believe, who was shot by police. I don't recall his name right now, but I put all these pictures up for a reason, not to try and cash in or get some kind of publicity behind the Trayvon Martin thing, like a lot of people seem to be doing in the society, but to use it as a catalyst for something else. See, because in everything that you do, everything that is presented to you is supposed to bring about a different way of thinking, a more elevated way of thinking. This situation is supposed to evolve our way of thinking and produce solutions, look for answers. A lot of our people, to them, it's just shock therapy. A lot of our people really are not seeking out solutions for this problem because, a lot of our people still have this individual mindset where, they could talk about black this and, Trayvon being a young black man and things like this, but they don't really consider themselves connected to Trayvon Martin because Trayvon Martin is not their brother. He's not their cousin. He's not their son. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Black people think as individuals. So, like I said, Trayvon Martin is not in your family. So you're disconnected from that. You don't see that potentially Trayvon Martin could be your son, your nephew, your little brother, and he could be going just like that. And it's all for a bigger picture. It's all part of a bigger picture. It's all meant to produce something in the people. However, it's not taking effect. Black people still don't see what the big picture is in all of this. They don't see what it is that they're supposed to be doing or how they're supposed to be coming together to prevent things like this from happening. So, because we don't see it, there will be more sacrifices. Because black people are like sheep just wandering aimlessly in a pen. And this sheep, or as the coin, the current phrase, they call them sheeple, people and sheeple, they play that word game, sheeple. Black people are like lost sheep, moving in a pen, no direction, nowhere, just wandering about as individuals. No direction. Trayvon Martin was the latest test of the emotional broadcast system. That's what I call it, EBS, the emotional broadcast system. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that the media took Trayvon Martin's death at the hands of this man Zimmerman, and they made it an international story. They made it an international incident. You got people walking around with hoods on their heads. You got people with the "I am Trayvon Martin." You got people who are coming out and acting as though they're outraged by this incident that took place. Hell, you even had Prince walking around. Prince, who never really stand up for nothing black, but Prince walking around with a hood on his head. All right? But what is the image that is being done? What is the image that's being given? Why is this taking place? Why is the media blowing this up? This is what you should look at. And getting the answer to, getting to the heart of this problem, getting to the solution. Why is the media doing this? There's a test being conducted. Whenever the media puts something out, whenever they put out movies, ads, billboard, whatever, magazine articles, they monitor the response they get. Same way they're monitoring the response about this Trayvon Martin thing. What they're trying to monitor is people's reaction to the death of young black men. Oscar Grant, Trayvon Martin, Sean Bell years ago. They're trying to monitor the response to see if, it'll affect the status quo, see how it weighs on the conscience of society, see if it would cause outrage, you know. And based on that, based on whether it causes some sort of outrage or some sort of unifying effect or whatever it does, you know, what happens is that it draws people. It gives them something to work off of, because the more you introduce this, the more you introduce this dynamic of young black men getting killed or older black men getting killed into the society, they're trying to get our people used to black men dying off. Obviously, they're trying to harden our sense toward that. They're trying to harden our mindset toward that, whereas it's no big thing. They're trying to make it seem as though, you know, it's a regular thing that'll turn up. And this is why you're starting to see an increase in young black men, and even older black men in general. You're starting to see an increase in the death of black men, because this future society that we're coming into is preparing a world without black men, or a world that's cut down in numbers of black men greatly. That's why this is being done. We walked right into a test that's being conducted. Look at the images that they put in the society. Like I said, they played up a big thing about Trayvon Martin's hood, right? And you have people walking around with hoods on their heads. Hood, hoodie, hood as in gangster, thug, hood as in neighborhood, ghetto. So many things could be drawn from this word. They're trying to produce a fear of young black men in this society by everyone. So you become less sensitive when young black men die here, because young black men, they don't stick together. Black people don't stick together. So it's easy when you don't stick together to pick you off. Could this have happened in a Jewish community? No. If this guy Zimmerman shot a young Jewish boy, the whole Jewish community would be at his doorstep. He'd be too afraid to do anything like that. He would have packed up and left right then and there. He would have been on the run. And it couldn't have been no place on the earth that he could have probably 9 times out of 10 went and not got caught or picked up. He would have been prosecuted by now. That's group power. That has nothing to do with white power, black power, blue power. It's group power, collective power. People who stand for something collectively together. But you can't really convince black people of that. You can't convince them that they are strong in number. You can't get black people to relax their egos enough to stand together as a collective, so that, you know, hurting a Trayvon Martin would be like hurting 1,000 black men. And 1,000 black men would turn a negative eye toward anyone who did that. That's power. That is the ability to stir up anger, controversy, things of that nature, stir attention to something. See, because no one should be more outraged. You got this being a national thing, and people, you know, it's nice that people are talking about how right this is not right. But this was a what I want to say, a story, and a media frenzy was created, or this cause was stirred up through the media. This is a media-created cause. Because had the media not put energy behind Trayvon Martin, you probably would never heard of him. Just like you haven't heard this black man, I'm trying to think of his name. I got it written down somewhere. He was an ex-Marine, 68-year-old black man, was shot by the police. Okay? And you didn't even hear about this. No one heard about this. You have black men that are harassed by police all the time. You have black men, black women who are harassed and beat up by the police, beat up by mobs of white people. Hell, I said that black people, they don't even value each other's lives. We don't value each other's lives. I made a statement. I said that, you know, black people only are concerned with black life when it's taken at the hands of other races of people. But when it's taken by our own hands, and we do that way more than any other race of people take the lives of black people. You know, when we take the lives of our children by way of abortions, where you got black women who throw away their children like they're throwing away garbage, to cut out the fetuses and things like that. When you got people who are willing to do that, when you got black men who stand up and shoot each other and kill each other, shoot each other down like dogs, or cut each other in the face, or walk around the inner cities screw facing each other, giving each other hard stares and hard looks, murderous stares, these are people that don't have a respect for each other's lives. So then how can you get angry when white police officers, other races of people start to attack black people, start to murder off and kill off black people? How can you get angry? You don't respect your own lives. You don't take your own lives seriously. You don't love each other enough to not harm each other, to not have care and concern for each other. So other people supposed to? It's that whole race thing. And it's really an Uncle Tom mentality, because your life is only important if a white man take it. That's in a way putting the white man on the pedestal and other races on the pedestal, that the killing of a black person is only important if a white person does it. Think about that. Or somebody of another race. Think also, George Zimmerman, I believe he's Mexican or something. He's not even a white man. So this should put our people on notice that it's not only the white man or racist white people that are killing black people. You got people of other races, Mexicans. Look in L.A. They don't like blacks in L.A., the Mexican gangs. You got the Mexicans, you got the Asians, they gang up and they'll go against the blacks. The white Aryans, all of them. But they will gang up and go against the blacks. This is what we face, and not to mention that black men killing each other. So which way do we go with this? We got death facing us from all angles. This is real. You got black people who are not concerned with this. They talked about our people was only concerned about talking about Trayvon Martin as long as it was media hype and media blitz. That's when our people were interested in talking about Trayvon Martin. As soon as the media doesn't give it any more play, our people are not going to be talking about Trayvon Martin no more. Okay? They're not going to be talking about Trayvon Martin. So even the media controls our consciousness about whether we care or not about the death of our own people. The media controls that. How sick is that? They do things like that just to test us, to see if they can stir our emotions, to get us to react to certain things. Like I said, if the media didn't give it as much play and didn't play it up in the magazines, newspapers, and on TV as much as they did, we wouldn't have cared nothing about Trayvon. He would have been another young black kid that got shot. Just like many young black kids get shot in the ghettos around America and around the world every day. The black men, at the hands of young black people. We don't have a respect for life. And that's reality. We only care if other people take our lives. That's when we get on the offensive, because people can still play the race card with us. And we fall for it all the time. You got enough of our people who don't care. They're not concerned with life because they're sitting around here. They getting high. They smoking weed all day. They listening to hip hop. They more concerned. More of our people are more concerned with what's going on with Lil Wayne or with hip hop. That's our people are more concerned with that. Or their little trivial problems in the world. They're not concerned with young black men or black men in general being murdered in the society. They're not concerned with that. Not at all. They rather party and do all these things. You have people talking about, celebrating or mourning the death of Trayvon Martin at bars and at events. People using this young man's death to sell events out, get people together and just spend money. Michael Baisden was talking about how the advertisers in the radio station where he was talking about Trayvon Martin, he was like telling him, let's move on from this, let's start making money, this come and going and whatever. But how do you move on from something that continues to happen? This is not a random act. These things continue to happen. That's why I had Sean Bell up there. I had Trayvon Martin. It's all the same person. Sean Bell, Trayvon Martin, Oscar Grant. It's the same people. Young black men to old black men. You're being put on notice. And though you black men could still walk around here and get high and chase shorties and and chase and listen to hip hop all day and put your mind there or talk about sex with trying to get in women's pants, that's all you concerned with. It doesn't matter. It's you don't consider yourself to be in that role. You don't consider yourself to be in the crosshairs or something in society. You don't consider yourself to be. You don't want to do nothing about that. You would rather bury your head in the sand. That's too much for you. The majority of our people, I said, are mentally gone. They're mentally deficient. They don't have enough memory. They don't have enough mental capability to mask together and come together collectively for the protection of our people. They don't have it. They have too many different concerns. They have too many different ideologies and things that distract them. A lot of our people don't even think me doing a radio broadcast is necessary and talking about the evolution of our people. They'd rather me be up here talking about hip-hop or something stupid or some sex or some sex nonsense or this guy against this girl and blase, blah, whatever. But you black women who are listening here, and if you have children, if you have sons, if you have nephews, if you have all, husbands, whatever, no black man is safe in this society from anyone. Because at any time, randomly, someone could be white racist police officers. It could be Mexicans next door to you. It could be Asian storekeepers. Anybody could take a shot at you, blow your head off, kill you. And the public outcry will be small. As long as the media doesn't put light on it, the public outcry will be small. You'll just be another nigger, another dead nigger in the mindset of this society. You won't even last a few seconds, a few minutes. Doesn't matter. But this is not important. Maybe I should just be talking about hip-hop, where the next party going to be. Everybody just have a good time and, don't be sitting around worrying about and focused on this. And I'm not talking about this to bring anybody down. I'm just putting our people on alert. I'm putting our people on notice of what's taking place in the society and that you're being watched. That you have music that's being geared toward, or the image of music and black men in this music is being geared to produce a fear of black men. Lil Wayne, the fangs in his mouth, pants hanging down, wild looking. Just wild looking, like a savage. It's all done to produce a fear. And a lot of our people are afraid. A lot of our people are caught in this zone of looking at young black men, and even the black women are caught in this zone of looking at black men and being afraid of them now. You taking on the mentality of white people, white America. They're breeding black people, older black people, and black women to be afraid of black men, young black men especially. To be not to be untrustful of black men. This is taking place right now. And our people are falling for it. Because once you can turn the women in a nation against the people, then like I said, the men have no place to run. They have no place to hide. They have no chance in the society. How would they think? How would this society be? How would they feel about us doing a national warehousing of black men, a.k.a. the prison system? How would this society feel, the conscience of the society, if we cut down on the black men here? Gradually. Can't do it all at once, gradually. How would this society feel? Obviously you all okay with it. Obviously you all okay with it. Just talking about it is not going to do anything. Just Making comments on Facebook is not going to do anything about it. There has to be an ultimate solution because you have children. Practical solution because you have children. You have sons coming up in this society. You have nephews, cousins, all young black men. You have fathers. Nobody's safe from any age range. I heard black people say, "Oh well, if Trayvon didn't have a hood on his head, and maybe he would have had a chance if he was dressed a certain way. He pulled his pants up." And I'm not a fan of the sagging pants and all that other nonsense. But what I'm saying is that no black man is safe, whether you wear a suit in this society, whether you're an older black man. I've seen police officers frisk older black men in their 60s standing on the corner, talking to each other, congregating. This would have never happened in an Italian neighborhood or a Jewish neighborhood. This would have never happened. But our people refuse to stick together. They refuse to come together. They refuse to govern themselves by a certain code of conduct. So these things will continue to happen to our people until an ultimate solution comes, until a group of people, elect group outside the people, within the people, get tired and raise up from the black people that have no problem with this. That's going to take place. And this is the answer to the problem, to the Trayvon Martin problem. This is the ultimate solution. See, because like I said, our people don't want an ultimate solution. They want to put a Band-Aid on it. They want to have a march just so they can say they did something. They want to talk on Facebook about it. They want to call a white man a devil, all these things, and then they want to go back to doing just what they were doing before, nothing. They want to go back to listening to hip-hop, smoking weed, talking about a bunch of nonsense. That's all they want to do. I had a sister tell me one time in the last broadcast, I asked her, I said, did you like the broadcast? She goes, "Oh, you talking just like everybody else talking. When is going to be some action? I want to see some, I got children to feed. I got this, that, and this, that, and the third." And I said, "Oh, well, how do you gather people together? How do you bring about an action in the people, if there's no talking, if there's no communication? How do you do that? A lot of us are not as advanced to, do telepathy yet. Some are. But it helps for those of us who are coming up on that realm. We have to open our mouths and speak and be heard. That's why we got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen to what's being said. Because this radio broadcast is a gathering call for the intelligent ones of our people to come together and gather and move outside of the black race, because the black race is finished. Trayvon Martin represented the black race. Trayvon Martin, Oscar Grant, Sean Bell, they represent a dying black race, a dying race of black men. So out of the ashes of that dying race, a phoenix has to rise. Every action produces a reaction. As black men are dying off, you understand, black men who are not meant, obviously, to see the future or see tomorrow, a new black man and a new black woman have to arise from that, has to raise from that. You understand? A new black people with a new intelligence. Notice I didn't say a consciousness, because I'm like too through and done with that word. I'm saying a new and intelligent black people, or people who possess a divine intelligence, a divine intellect, will rise out of the black race. And that's what this radio broadcast is. This is the rallying call for that new people to rise out of the black race to form something else, so that we can grow and foster a new life, new children. Because the majority of our people, they're just dead people walking. The average black man today is a dead man walking. The average black woman today is a dead woman walking, or a dead female walking. Mentally dead, and they're just waiting to lay down. They're just doing things in between the time they're born to the time they die to move toward that stage of death. They're just waiting to die. Notice that album of Biggie, Ready to Die, it caught the consciousness of a lot of our people. Why is that? Why would a man talking about being ready to die catch on with a lot of people. A lot of people say, oh, because Biggie was fly, he was rhyming, and the beats and the music was hot. No, 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 no. That was nice and all that, but ultimately, the album, the title he put out there, struck a chord with black people for a reason, young black people, because you got a young generation of black people, this generation, who are ready to die. They're ready to die off. You can tell in their direction, the fact that they don't have any direction. You could tell. You black women could tell in the men that you lay down with when you talk to them, you hear the simple-mindedness. You black men who lay down with these ignorant women, you could tell when you hear the simple-mindedness of them, that these are people that are destined to die in order for a greater intelligence to be born. See, because those two people, or those two, that space can't be occupied by ignorant and intelligent people. See, because when the intelligent people come from amongst the ignorant, then you'll see the ignorant start to die off. You who have some sort of intelligence, you who carry some sort of intelligence, you're keeping the ignorant ones of our people alive. They're vibrating off of you. Same way the white man vibrates off of our people and the rest of the human race vibrates off our people. The ignorant vibrate off of the intelligent ones of our people. See, because if you take yourself out of the equation of the ignorant people, if you take yourself out of the equation as an intelligent person, you take yourself out of the equation of the ignorant people, you'll see that the ignorant eventually turn on each other. And they begin to kill each other or destroy each other. Their relationships start to sour. Their relationships start to dissolve. They're not talking about nothing. There's a mental death that starts to take place. Next thing you know, a depression sets in. Next thing you know, a lot of our people have thoughts of suicide. That's the ignorant. Because this takes place because there is no mental evolution for them. There is no reason to live. There is no vision of a future for them. So their future, the only bit of future they can see, becomes bleak and dark. What you see, again, I'm going to say it again, what you see with the black men dying in this society is a race of men who are being born to die. They serve no purpose. They serve no purpose in the greater populace. That's why they're dying. The only purpose they end up serving in the bigger picture is for us, the intelligent ones, to see that we must move beyond that level of disunity where we're at, that we must come together, the intelligent ones, because it was too easy to pick them off. It's too easy to pick off the average black man in society because the average black man in society is ignorant. He doesn't stand for anything. He doesn't stand with his people. He's not with his people. He has an individual mindset. So it's easy to get rid of him. I said before on the last show, I said that this couldn't have happened in a Jewish community. This couldn't have happened in an Italian community. That's why you don't see these things happening. It has nothing to do with white and black. It has to do with the fact that these people are together. You hit one, you hit 1,000. You touch a woman, you touching a group of men and women. Like how the Nation of Islam used to be. You wasn't gonna bother a Muslim. Back in the 60s, they was feared. You wasn't gonna bother them by everybody, even the mafia. I had this clip on YouTube that I put up in the Supreme Beings group where it said that the mafia, it was in New Jersey, with a mosque out there, the Nation of Islam mosque out there. This was under Elijah Muhammad back in the 60s. The old Nation of Islam, the real Nation of Islam. But back then, it was a brother who was working on a construction site who was in the Nation. He got some Italian guy who was part of a Jersey crime family or whatever, or part of one of the 5 mafia families, got into it with him, right? And the black guy whipped his ass, and as a result of that, he put the white boy in the hospital, broke 2 of his ribs, something like that. He damaged him, because black men was on that whole standing up for each other and finally being men in this society. You understand? In the late 60s and 70s, the black men started standing up and being men in this society and standing up for themselves. They wasn't acting like those past black men who was weak, who was allowing themselves to be hung off damn trees in the South and whatnot. Because I'm gonna just say it. You black men back in the 40s and the 30s, you were weak. You know, you were weak. You didn't want to stand together. You didn't want to stand up for each other. Y'all be ready to cut each other and shoot each other down south and whatnot, and bar fights and juke joints or whatever. But you let the white man hang you off of damn trees and rape your daughters and do whatever they want, hang your sons, and you sat there and you just let that happen. You understand that? You didn't stick together. So anyway, as the black man started to stand up for himself in the 60s and the 70s, you had about this situation with the Nation of Islam. This black man, he put the white boy, the Italian, in the hospital, duffed him out, beat him down. And the white boy said he went to his uncle and them was in the Gambino family, so he wanted satisfaction. He wanted to get it in. He wanted the family to do him dirty, just kill this nigga. Right? They even went to the old man who was alive running the Gambino family at the time, Carlo Gambino himself, Don Carlo Gambino. And you know what happened? You know what happened? Because the mafia and everybody watches when our people come together, when our people mobilize and they serious, and we're not talking some black revolutionary BS, and we're not talking some standing on this TV trying to get photo ops, but when our people are serious, like you could tell with the Nation of Islam back then, they were serious about living a better life and having a clean environment and taking care of the women and the children and the men, being strong and clean people, and was ready to live and die for that teaching. You could tell, they could tell when our people are serious. You know, Carlo Gambino, you would think they wouldn't know about the black Muslims, but they know they saw Malcolm X and all of them, and when Malcolm X back then was strong under the Nation of Islam, because when he left the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X was in nothing. He was finished. You know, he was finished. He was the strongest time black people liked Malcolm X when he was making those speeches, when he had the fruit of Islam and all those brothers behind him standing strong. Once he left the nation, he was done. But anyway, they was like, the guy went to Carlo Gambino, the head of the Gambino family. You know, they're like 800 strong, and the Gambino killers, right? And he said, the old man Carlo Gambino said, normally you could get satisfaction. We just kill this nigga. You know, we get rid of him, but, you know, not if it's going to cost us the Borgata, meaning the family, right? And they backed down. Nothing happened. Nothing. They didn't want it with the Nation of Islam because they knew that if that NOI brother lost his life, that was it for them. The whole goddamn Gambino family. They was finished. You understand that? That's what I'm talking about. Black people standing up together. You know, because you got to take a goddamn stand somewhere. But you black men today, y'all weak. You don't stand for nothing but buying out the bar and being whoremongers. Most of you, y'all homosexuals anyway. Most of y'all, you know, you black women, y'all don't stand for nothing but trying to be Barbie and get Fendi bags and Louis Vuitton purse. Y'all don't stand for nothing. So don't even cry. Don't even worry about crying for no Trayvon Martin. Y'all ain't concerned about nothing. Those were real people back then. And the spirit of those people, or the intelligence of those people, are still here. And a newer generation. Just got to find that generation. That lost generation. It ain't the new people in the group. I'm talking about the spirit of that strong spirit of pride in standing up for themselves and represent being real men and real women in the world. It's still there amongst some of our people. It's still here in the remnants of our people in the face of a modern day ignorant nigger and niggerette. But we got to find the real black men and real black women. And I'm not talking about you people that's standing up here still talking this black power, back to Africa, red, black, and green nonsense. I'm not talking about you dashiki wearers. I'm talking about black men, simple black men who stand for something, who want to see a better tomorrow, a better future. Black women who stand for something, who want to see a better tomorrow, a brighter future. That's what I'm talking about. They don't need to put on the costumes and the headdresses and shout black power and wear funny hats and wear the T-shirts and whatnot. Because, like I said, that's just an act. That's costumes you're putting on. Okay, so as that being said in that example, when that incident happened with the mafia and the Nation of Islam. That was publicized in New York Magazine, a bunch of different magazines. You could go back and look at the articles. That was put in major magazines and news publications, okay, around the country. You could go look it up online. Nation of Islam, Nation of Islam, and Mafia. They said that Black Power or whatever they were referring to the Nation of Islam would back down even the white gangsters. But you go online and look it up. That just goes to show you that when our people stand together, we stand strong. When we serious. See, they didn't take the Black Panthers serious. Nobody took them seriously. That's why the cops just wiped them out. They didn't take them seriously because they really wasn't about, when you don't have that plan or you don't have that foundation where you're standing for something with you, then you're easily wiped out. You're easily ripped out of the roots of the ground. You don't really have any roots planted in the foundation because you don't really have one. Everything you trying to do is based on trying to be part of the society. And I said the Black Panthers, they were more or less just a militant civil rights group. They were reading from the Constitution and talking about their right to bear arms. You can't read from the Constitution and talk about your right to bear arms, then turn around and talk about you're a black militant and a revolutionary. Revolutionaries no longer obey laws, if that's the case. They're going to take down societies. They're not going to try and uphold the laws and be a part of it. So your messages are mixed. We'll be right back. Power perceived is power achieved. Power perceived is power achieved. What that means is the perception of power, people see a strong people, and they can feel it coming off of you, that you are ready to live for something. See, black people are famous for saying, black men especially, and, you could tell this BS when black men say, I'll die for this, I'm ready to die for this. And it's usually something stupid the black man willing to die for, like, trying to prove that he a badass or a tough guy or, or trying to, die for hip-hop. Anything, a black man die for something, anything stupid. But your mindset should be to try and live for something. What do you live for? You have to be willing to live for something that's real before you're ready to die for it. Okay? Howard Morgan, shot 28 times. Kenneth Chamberlain, ex-Marine, in 68 years old, was shot by the police in his apartment. He had a medical emergency, and he was having a heart attack, and his medical alert, the medical alert alarm sounded, and the police came, kicked in the door, and shot him. Right? Now, this happened in the wake of the Trayvon Martin, maybe a month or so back, but these things didn't really get any real play. They didn't get real play. You got black men, police officers here in New York and other places getting shot down by white police officers. See, they say it's a mistake, but obviously it's not a mistake. You black. You always a suspect, even when you are wearing blue. You're still a suspect. You still can't be trusted. You still are the suspect. You fit the description, always. No matter if you're a cop, you always going to fit the description. What is the solution to all this? To Trayvon Martin, to Sean Bell, Oscar Grant, Howard Morgan, Kenneth Chamberlain, and let's go, Eleanor Bumpers in the 80s. The list goes on the attacks on our people. We've been getting attacked since we got here. Since we got off the damn slave ships, we've been getting attacked. We've been attacked from all sides. What is the solution? What is the solution? What is being shown to us? What is being shown, as a solution to what we must do? Answer. Come together. And I know that's, people say, oh, yeah, we got to come together. I'm not talking to you, majority of you black people who got to say, yeah, come together, yeah. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about a people within the black race. I'm not talking to all of y'all. You know? I'm not talking to the majority of our people. I do these radio broadcasts to stir something in my people who are serious about this, who see, you know, the detriment in what's taking place. That's what I do it for. I don't do it for to entertain niggas. Yeah, because that's really, if you go right now on Blog Talk, you'll hear some simple-minded niggas talking about nonsense, hip hop or whatever, some kind of hop or some movie or whatever, and you'll see people all gathered together to listen to that broadcast. Stupidity, and that just shows you where the mind of black people are, and people are watching that nationally, internationally. How we react to this thing, whether it was going to bring our people together. People are watching that. People are watching how we don't stick together. People watch that. People see that. A new community of intelligent people, mentalists. I'm going to always keep pushing the state of mental as a solution to the evolution of our people. I'm going to always push that. That's my answer to everything that the ills that's going on in our society. That's the answer. And it's for the newer people, even for the people who heard the solution before. I'm going to keep saying it until it's drilled into your head, until you go out of this listening to this radio broadcast and you start talking to people amongst you in your cities, and you start telling them about the state of mental. I'm going to drill the state of mental into the minds of my people who are open to listen. Because I'm only here to talk to my people. I'm not interested in talking to the black race. You understand? The black race is ignorant as hell. I'm not interested in talking to them. The black race are the lost sheep. That's it. They're not. A lot of our people are not worth the oxygen that they breathe. They're not worth the food that it takes to feed them. Because if you are not in the world to move forward or help your people in any kind of way, if you're not being an asset to your people, then you're a liability. I said you're a goddamn liability. The majority of our people are liabilities all over the place. And so what happens? Other races step in and start removing our people. You understand that? They step in and remove them. Useless eaters, I told you. That's how we're seen. We're looking for justice. How pathetic is that? We're looking for justice at the hands of a system that has never given us justice. You got white people and other races of people out here marching for your cause. You never see that. You would never see that with other races of people. You'll only see that with our people. Where people got to feel sorry for you. That's why they marching for Trayvon, because y'all not strong enough to stand up and do nothing yourself. All you gonna do is go to church and pray, talk about hip hop, go buy out the bar, just whatever ignorant nonsense that you do to bury your head in the sand. A real black person that has their mind together totally, who is not ignoring the truth, a real ones of our people who are willing to come together in the wake of this ignorance that is amongst our people, that's thick as a fog amongst our people, the ones of our people who are going to evolve out of it, you are the true people of the next world. An intelligent black person who has his mind or her mind in a real place, you're worth your weight in gold. You're worth 5 to 10 niggas. You're worth 5 to 10 ignorant niggas. One black intelligent person who has their mind right, and their actions and their way of thinking is about coming together collectively with the intelligent ones of their people. That is the new God race. You are worth 50 niggas. You worth 50 of them. Because so many of our people don't serve any purpose. My words are meant to be like bombs dropping in the sea and bringing out jewels. How do you bring out jewels from the sea, or bring out coal, bring out diamond from coal? You apply pressure. You drop bombs. You make your words resonate. You don't sit up here on the goddamn rail and use this medium to talk about stupidity and play a bunch of old music or booty shaking down south ass jiggling music, or talk some stupid nigga nonsense, or promote some more music to our people. And I'm gonna say, the majority of you people that's out here promoting this music, that's all you want to do is get on and interview people and talk about music and talk about this, that, and the third, a bunch of nonsense and whatnot. The majority of you people that do that, y'all nothing but a bunch of new millennium Uncle Toms. Y'all deserve the Yasser Balls face. We're gonna call you the Yasser Balls people. Now I see why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad forbade people in the Nation of Islam back in his day from singing and dancing and doing all that other stuff. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with liking music. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say that in the state of mental. We like music, but I see why he forbade them from being entertainers and all this other nonsense and all that singing and dancing, because that bred in the mindset of people, and in our people too, your want and your desire to be an entertainer, to be a clown, to always entertain people, to be the life of the party, to constantly, be a fool. And that's what you got, and that's what we got in this day. We got a generation, we got a race of goddamn fools and the black race is a race of goddamn fools, because you're the only ones that can't get it together. You're the only ones that can't get it right. And when somebody comes to try and get our people together, you hate that person, because that's the nigga that's trying to stop the party to you. Why you got to be so serious? What's this intellectual? He always talking. Why you got to be so serious? Why ain't nobody listening to him? Why you got to be? No, the right people are listening to me. I don't want you listening to me. I don't care if you listen to me. Go somewhere and smoke your weed, and go to the strip club and buy out the bar. Go listen to some hip hop somewhere and go shake your ass somewhere in some dirty club. I don't want you listening to me. I want the right people listening to me. And the right people will listen to me. That's why I get up here and I pay money to rent out these airwaves to put this message of mentellect out for the elect of our people. The ones of our people who are serious about their lives. Because you niggas in the black race are not serious about your lives. You're not serious. You don't take your life seriously, but you expect the white man and the other races to? No wonder they don't give much of a damn about blowing your black head off. Beating the hell out you black women, you black females, not black women. I don't want to. I wouldn't even call these females in the same class as you black women. No wonder they don't care about choking you out and kicking you in your ass. They don't care, because you don't care about your own life. Your life, you a joke. You black females are a joke with your body. You loose with yourselves, with everybody. You black men, like I said, you ain't about nothing. You ain't about trying to foster or grow your nation. You're not trying to go to school to become doctors and lawyers and trying to show our people a better way. All you niggas want to do is rap on the microphone. You in your damn 40s still trying to get a record contract in your late 30s. That's all you could talk about. Singing nursery rhymes. That's what you got to add to our people. Or you don't want to add nothing. You don't want to feel like you're responsible to add nothing. And so, you know what? Don't. The pressure's not on you to do anything. It's on the intelligent ones of our people who notices the truth and not going to sit around on their goddamn hands and let things just happen. We're going to come together amongst our people to create a better environment for our people, to create and clean ourselves up and get ourselves together and be that shining beacon of light. You understand? For our people. This is for the people. This is for us. 914, you're on the air. 914.
Hi, Brother Newman. How you doing?
How you doing, sister?
Good. I just have a quick comment really to make. I was looking at the news earlier today, and today is Good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And they had these people in church. It was a black church. And they all had their hoods on, singing "We Shall Overcome" Bob Martin. And I was like, really? Are you serious? Yeah. They looked like fools, like a bunch of damn fools. I'm sorry.
Man, well, no, don't be sorry. Just tell the truth. This is the truth hour. This is the truth. This is the truth hours right here. This is the 2 hours of truth right here. We being true. Even like I said, this is what our people are busy doing.
Mm.
They, you know what this mindset is, that it's trying to gear us to going back into. It's really actually when they push the racial thing here amongst our people, it's really designed to do two things. And the civil rights is designed to slow us down and push us back. It's really it's designed to put us in that victim mentality where we feel like victims and we of race and circumstance, and it's also meant to put us in that civil rights mind frame of singing "We Shall Overcome." They're trying to teach that song, that sad ass song, to young black men and black women today. They're trying to get you to start singing "We Shall Overcome." Don't you see what's going on here?
But it's dead.
Yeah, no, they trying to bring it back alive because you were better when you were like that. You better when you like Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne. It's easy to deal with niggas like that. It's easy to deal with. Now they just got to teach them. All they need to do. Don't be surprised you see a photo op with Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj with hoods on their head singing "We Shall Overcome." She'll have a pink hood on her head. He have a black one on his head singing "We Shall Overcome." Don't be surprised. They want our children like that. That's how they want the young black males and the young black females. They want them like that. They want them in that civil rights mind frame with your hand out begging for justice. They want you back in that mindset of doing nothing. They want you back in that mindset of being a civil rights advocate, like I said, and just basically on your knees at the mercy of these people instead of standing up strong like men and women. They don't want that. That's why they advocate this and they push this whole thing, and they still trying to make it about, they want to make it a racial thing. Like I said, black people ain't got no right to sit up here and talk about no Trayvon Martin every time. Like I said, you black men and black women are taking each other's own lives and not respecting each other. So I don't want to hear nothing about no Trayvon Martin.
I'm tired of it too.
Like I said, I only use Trayvon Martin tonight as a catalyst for talking about the evolution of our people. And I use it because I said, and I'm using it in the right context because it's supposed to make us evolve mentally. You understand? But the majority of these niggas, they not evolving mentally. All they doing is waddling in pity. They just want an excuse to march. They want an excuse to sing. They want an excuse to get with white people and stand with white people and make some new friends and to march. That's what they want to do.
And it's like you said. It's like you said. They don't want to listen to someone like you because you interrupting their party. Yeah. You're stopping them from having their fun.
Yeah. Trayvon is good in bits and pieces, like let us feel good, like let us feel bad when we want to feel bad, but anything beyond that, brother, we ain't got time for all that. That's really the mindset. Like you going too hard, it's too much, brother.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at something on YouTube, and it was from a conscious event, and they was talking about, this our brother Trayvon Martin, blah, 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 blah. Let's have a moment of silence for Trayvon Martin. I'm like, that's what they do in church, right?
Yeah, they do that in church.
Y'all against religion. Y'all against church.
No, well, that's that whole hip hop mentality. Let's throw our lighters up. Let's get some lighting for Trayvon Martin. That's shout outs. That's just niggas trying to be cool and hip, and they don't really care about no Trayvon Martin. That's just niggas being cool and hip. They care more about smoking their weed later after the show or trying to get in some chick pants. That's all they care about. That's their life. That's just something for them to say because it's fashionable. Like I told you, the majority of these niggas, it's just fashionable to be black. You know what I mean? It's fashionable to talk about, the white man's the devil, black power, Ashe, all that other nonsense.
Right.
You understand? It's or the dreads and all that other talk. Like I said, it's fashionable. But the real people who are tuned in, the real people who are connected to that supreme intellect, that advanced black people. That's what we're trying to bring out in the state of Mentel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're trying to bring out. We're trying to bring our people from amongst the ignorant who are in supreme darkness and bring our new people into supreme light, into supreme intelligence. That's what we're trying to do. And that's why I do these broadcasts. Like I said, Trayvon Martin, all these things that are happening to black men are supposed to be seen as a catalyst to bringing our people out. Everything, circumstances are supposed to produce a stronger people, and that's what the whole point of doing this broadcast is, to produce an intelligent and strong people. You know, so.
Yeah. Well, continue to do what you're doing. I'm glad that you're having 3 shows a week.
Mhm.
And more people are coming out and listening to you.
Mhm.
And
well, mhm.
like you said, you know, the ones that you want to come are going to come, not the shiftless Negroes, you know, that just want to smoke weed, have fun, and be stupid.
Well, yeah, I tell them, keep having your fun. Keep smoking your weed, having your fun, whatnot. Like I said, like I said, when the intelligent ones of our people come from amongst the ignorant, then you're going to see them fall away. Because I said early on in the broadcast, I said that we are the ones who give power to the ignorant. That's why, if you notice, when somebody like myself comes along and I'm trying to extract the intelligent ones from away from the ignorant ones have a problem with that. They don't like it. Well, what you trying to do, blah, 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 because what that does is that exposes their ignorance. When you take, like, if you take out the intelligent people, see, as long as you got people who are just, you know, under that guise of being black, you don't know who's intelligent, you don't know who's ignorant, you don't know, because everybody's just being black and, you know, we just living our life and whatnot. But once you start drawing the line and once you start extracting the people, you understand, and taking the intelligent ones of the people out, that shines a light on the ignorant ones of our people. And they don't want that light shined on them. It shows who the ignorant and useless niggas are, the ones who serve no purpose.
Right.
And that needs to be done. That needs to be shown. So what it's going to end up doing is either it's going to make them stand up and be responsible and intelligent new people and try to transform themselves, or they're going to die on the vine. Because ignorant people, they have when you cut them loose, it's the same thing when you have, like, in a relationship with a man and you trying to be a producer and things like that. My sister was in this situation where she was in I'll use her situation. So she, as an educator, she has her children, you know, and father of her children, he's a knucklehead, and he just basically a leech and everything. And, you know, he basically wasn't taking care or pulling his weight as a man. You understand? So what ends up happening is she cuts him off, right, and he was halfway trying to abuse her and things like that, verbally, and not really physically, because I wouldn't allow that, but you know, just maybe trying to be like, you know, a bully to her and not contributing to raising, you know, financially to raising his children and being responsible. So as she cut him off, you know, he was riding high and whatnot. She cut him off. Now he about to be homeless in the street. You know, he about to ride. Everybody's turning their back on him and whatnot, and he can't see this is the karma of what he did. His ignorance is coming out because he didn't have my sister, who was the intelligent one, to lean on no more, to hide his ignorance. Same thing that's going to happen to the black race. When the intelligent ones of our people move away from them, it's going to produce a stronger intelligence, because we're going to have more intelligent people amongst us, more providers, more producers amongst us. You're going to see that light starting to become stronger and powerful in this new people, and you're going to see the darkness of those old people start to die out.
Right.
That's real. They'll turn on each other. You understand? They'll turn on each other. You'll hear them. They'll start wiping each other out.
Right.
And that's what needs to take place. You are the light. You are the light that gives. You are the power and the light. The intelligence of you gives light and power to the darkness. Without you, the darkness can't spread.
Exactly.
You know, and this is reality. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
You said it all. I was just thinking everything that you said when it comes to the people who are basically ignorant, or, you know, and they got their little hustle going on with the black this and black that. When you coming about with this state of mental and the way that we talking, eventually, you know, they're going to look at themselves and be like, oh, shit. They're going to see that I'm playing them. You know, this shit, it's not working no more. And eventually they're either going to have to grow up, you know, be responsible, like you said, So I think it logically, or like you said, they just gonna die out.
Yeah, well, like I said, here's the hope, and they die out. You know, that
Yeah.
you know, that's my hope, that they just die out.
Yeah.
You know.
That's basically what's gonna happen. That's how it's gonna be. But thank you again, like always. I'm always thanking you. I'm gonna let you continue on with your show.
Mhm. I thank you for your call. Even though, like I said, it's a few of us listening, and when we got people listening, we don't got nobody real in the chat room right now. But it seems like a lot of people on a Friday night and whatnot, like I said, they'll pick up the show later on. They'll listen later on, and I like the fact that they, the best thing about Blog Talk and this medium is that the shows are recorded and stored for you to go back and listen later. So, I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to be a radio personality or a popularity contest. I used to tell a certain person about that I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm here to do a job and bringing my people together. That's what I'm using this medium for. I'm not interested in having a whole bunch of niggas listening to me and being entertained off me. That's why I try to fight the whole notion of calling this a show. I refer to this as a broadcast. Sometimes I'll slip and call it a show, but I don't mean to put on a show for nobody. I'm trying to broadcast to bring about the mental synergy of our people. So it's all about making better people. Go to the State of Mental, the SOM.info, and see about who the mentalists are, the mentallectuals, the new race of people who are coming out of the black race, the true elect, not some people that's just using that word. Understand who the elect are in this day and time. It's the real 144,000, that new generation of people that are coming out of the black race. Okay?
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back. Black people would rather create a hip-hop community than an intelligence one. That says something. Black people would rather create a community based on a damn music. They would rather create a community based on music. Something that, on something called hip-hop. They would rather create a community based on that than a community based on their own intelligence, or a society based on our intelligence and future building of a new people. They'd rather create a community around people shaking their ass and dancing at parties and playing music on turntables. They would rather create a community around that. A party community, a club community. We'll deal with the Trayvon thing from the hip hop community, from this a loose band of niggas. This is what the ignorant create. This is what happens when the ignorant are left to their own devices. They create things like a hip hop community. Listen to the word, a hip hop community. Like a bunch of goddamn bunny rabbits, hipping and hopping, jumping around, rhyming words. You understand? Like they doing something deep and heavy. This is what they want to create a community around. And the white man just laughing and like, well, look at these niggas. They're just so entertaining, and they go back to running the world. They go back to operating on you at the hospital when you sick. You the one running to them when you sick. You the one that's running to them, when you want to get paid or money. They controlling your system. These are things you're not worrying about. See, because this is grown up stuff. This is grown up stuff. This is grown people's. They carry the grown people's concern. They're the grown up real community. You black people when y'all form something, y'all the child community. Y'all the hip hop community. That sounds like something children would create. And yeah, it is something children would create. Only a people with a childlike mentality would create something like that. You understand? These people are going to medical school, going to law school, and going to be the leaders of tomorrow. You want to sit around and form a community based on hip hop, shaking your ass and dancing and rhyming. Who could rhyme the best? Who could spin the best? Right? Who could cut up and party? That's the life. All that to get out of being responsible people. All that to get out of mobilizing and coming together as intelligent people. Would this have happened to Trayvon Martin if Trayvon Martin was a part of a community? A real community, not no BS black community, but a real community. You know what I mean? A real community of strong men and strong women. If he was the son of one of those strong brothers who was part of a real community, like how the old Nation of Islam used to be. Hell no. Hell no. Because first of all, Zimmerman wasn't even supposed to be living in their neighborhood. That was supposed to be a neighborhood, like same way the Jews have their own neighborhood, the Italians have. Black people supposed to have their own neighborhood, but not the black community. The intelligence society or other state of intel have their own community where our children are going to our own schools, our stores, and whatnot. Like I said, I went through the Jewish community. I saw. I give them people props all the time. I give them props, much respect to them. You understand? They dollars stay flipping in their community. You ain't coming in their community doing nothing. They set up shop across the street from the damn projects, Marcy Projects, where Jay-Z grew up at. All right? They taking that over. You niggas in Marcy Projects and you in the hood, y'all niggas are finished, man. Y'all finished. And with Jay-Z had to help y'all. You know, he can't. He too busy buying out the bar somewhere probably. Y'all finished, man. Them people don't smoke y'all. They overrunning y'all. They taking it, and you know what? They should. Why not? They should. You know, because they willing to stick together. They willing to come together. Y'all not. All y'all want to do is stand in the pissy elevators in the projects, shooting at each other and selling drugs to each other. That's what you want to do, and going to hip hop concerts. That's your life. Talking about getting a record contract. If I see another group, two black men, young black men walking down the goddamn street rhyming to each other again, I think I'm gonna get sick. Saying some stupid nonsense. That same energy you put into reciting it and memorizing them 16 bars could have been put into a medical book. That could have been put into studying a medical book. If you could remember 16 bars or 32 bars or however many bars, 96, whatever bars you talking about, you could remember medical. You could remember medical books and studies and things like that. You can remember those medical procedures. You can understand laws. And some of you brothers in the Moors, y'all sharp. Y'all remember them laws. How many of you niggas go to school to be lawyers? Where you can really help your people. International lawyers. No, you just want to use it. Like I said, y'all want to come together to try and scam each other, hustle each other. You understand? Land scams and BS. You understand? Not where you can really help your people, because you guys got the mind to do it. You guys got the mind to memorize these laws and these statutes and these contracts, but you're not going to go to school to go be real lawyers, international lawyers, to help your people. Or go to school to use that mind, that great memory of yours to be doctors, so we ain't got to sit on tables in front of these goddamn Indians and Africans. You understand? The white man, but yet and still you talking about you running things. You niggas ain't running nothing but your mouths, man. Y'all ain't running nothing. Nobody giving you nothing. You keep telling yourself, you keep singing that sad song somewhere else. Nobody's worrying about you. We dealing with reality here. This is reality radio right here. This is future intelligence radio right here. Real, where you're going to hear reality here. You ain't going to hear no BS. You ain't going to hear about somebody, we promoting no rap concerts and all this other nonsense. We're not going to be promoting that. You understand? Though, yeah, I play the God hop music here. But, like I said, it's a better alternative to what's out there. But truth be told, I don't support no kind of hip-hop. Because I know what it's doing. I know that it's used to lower the mentality of our people, to take us off course, to distract us from what we should be doing, and that is being the future leaders of tomorrow. It produces a childlike mentality in our people. It creates an irresponsibility in the black man and in the black woman. You understand that? I know that to be true. They got us grown black men sitting up here trying to get contracts, still trying to rhyme and get contracts in their 30s and in their 40s. You know, when they just ain't come to the conclusion that shit's on sale a whole long time ago. The white man ain't dealing with you. If you niggas ain't Lil Wayne or Drake or you ain't some effeminate Negroes, the white man ain't dealing with you. You don't serve no purpose. Take them 16 bar beautiful memory you got and go to law school, go to medical school, be of some use to your goddamn people. Stop trying to sell some music that nobody really want to hear or want, don't nobody really want to, really support, or hear. Because hip hop is dead. We should be trying to formulate a real community, an intelligence community. Like I said, that's the answer to Trayvon Martins of the world, where my son can grow up in a community and we got black men and black women who standing shoulder to shoulder together, raising our daughters and our sons together. We coming out of this madness. That's the answer. Would Trayvon Martin's family, would they approve of that? Would they have been along with something like that, being a part of an intellectual society or an intelligent society that's coming out of the black race so they can raise their children up so we can protect our babies as a collective, raise our sons into men instead of these effeminate males that you see today, instead of being walking targets for every other race on this planet, raising them to be strong, courageous men who stand for something, and raising strong sisters, intelligent, beautiful sisters who, like I said, who have respect for themselves. See, that's what a community does. A real society, a real community does. That's what they turn out. You understand? They don't turn out people that walking around talking about forming music communities and standing around partying and clubbing, and they don't produce girls that want to run to the abortion clinic because they having loose sex with everybody and everything. They don't produce that. Real communities don't produce that. That's why I said the black community is a joke. That's a joke. There's no black community. Community, society, structure. That's what would have saved a Trayvon Martin, a Sean Bell. You understand that? Eleanor Bumpurs, an old woman who got shot down. I believe it was in the 80s and 90s. The police broke in her door and shot her, and that also happened in Georgia. So not only is a black man a target, so are you black women, even the older black women. Nobody's safe. Nobody is safe. When anybody gets the notion to want to get rid of you, they're going to get a pass. You understand? Nobody's safe. The so-called black race is not safe. You're easy targets because you don't stand for nothing. You don't stand for each other. Nobody stands up and says that's enough. Nobody stands up and says, we're going to come together, this, that, and the third. And if y'all coming together, it's for some nonsense, or you'll come together just for a little while, and you'll go do an event, and you'll get black for the minute, and then you'll leave. You'll talk about how messed up that was and how this not going to happen again. You'll pay money to get into the event, and the only thing that changed was the people that opened the event up and made money. Then you leave. That's it. Nothing got done. No solution. Nothing. How many of you men went to the Million Man March? You went to the Million Man March, and if a real society or community was structured around that, it would be almost impossible for things like a Trayvon Martin to happen. Now, black men was getting killed around that time too still, and it's still happening today. We don't need no symbolic gestures. We need real solutions. A lot of people don't think this is a problem, like I said, because you could still go and shop. You can still go and get your coffee. You can still go to your job. You still think you're going to keep getting your Social Security and your pension. Everything's okay in this society. I'm just some loudmouth. I'm just some guy who's seeking publicity, right? I'm just running my mouth, trying to push my organization up, push the state of Mentel up, as a alternative to our people, because I'm just trying to push my thing. That's not real. I wish, and in some cases, I wouldn't even have to do that, because when we talk about the state of Mentel, it's all about the betterment of our people. That's what it's about. It's about the betterment of our people. It's not about people overthrow. It's not about nobody overthrowing no government. It ain't about nobody talking about black revolution or picking up guns. It's about a mental evolution, a coming together of a people. That's what it's about. An understanding on ultra standing in the minds of young brothers who are still able to walk the streets like a Trayvon, who didn't have that ultra standing, who didn't have that complete comprehension of what it is that you're facing in the society. I'm sure Trayvon Martin didn't think about racism. You understand? I'm sure that probably wasn't even promoted to him because people in this generation, in their teens and in their early 20s, that's being bred out of them. You know, when you can turn on MTV and VH1 and whatever, and BET now, you turn on these networks and see everybody of every race dancing, chilling, hanging out together, all that stuff. You can see that. And race is not promoted. They tell you race is not an issue. That thing is it's not promoted in the society. But it's a reality. You could tell how sincere our people are, you understand, based on the fact that we advertise this broadcast. And I know it's people, our people are listening and whatnot in different arenas and whatnot. They might not have went because we posted the link in different groups, and I make sure I post the link in different groups because not so much because I care about listeners or like I said, I'm not a radio personality at all. I consider myself a loudspeaker for the evolution of our people and the coming together. We fishing every time we're on this radio show, or this broadcast. We're fishing out our people. We're looking to structure something in the society for the evolution of our people, the mental evolution of our people, the coming together of something. We're not here to talk about no Ashe and no Black Power and all that. We come in with something greater than that, something realer than that. What's more realer than producing new and intelligent people? A collective of people, a new society of people. You understand? What's more, of people that's living for, of, and by each other? Where we producing environments, clean environments, clean and better living environments for our people, protecting our women, structuring our men. You understand? Giving them a new and higher intelligence. Where we not out here trying to rip our people off and rob our people and whatnot and tell them nonsense and lies and whatnot. We're here to try to foster something greater in them. For the future evolution of our people, if you have children, you should be listening to this. If you have nephews, sons, daughters, I do that for them. I got nephews. I got nieces. So I do that for them. I do this. This is partly I do this for them because I want them. The world that you create, you don't worry about the people what they doing on the planet. Everybody's doing on the planet, but the world you create on the planet, because there's many different worlds on this planet. You understand? But the world that you create in this planet, your own separate world, where you put up barriers and barriers around your people and around your society or your community. That's what's going to grow your people up into strong people if you truly give a damn about your people, about your children. We lost that mindset of, it takes a village to raise a people, a village to raise one child. We lost that. Where was the village for Trayvon? You understand that? Where was the village for Sean Bell and them? There was no village. There was nobody in their head to say, listen, you supposed to be representing this. We part of this, and we, of this mentality or whatever. There's no village. There's no collective. There's no coming together. There's no group. There has to be one started mentally, and there has to be one thought out, and then there has to be one that's lived out. It has to be lived out. But it has to be thought out, and the foundation has to be laid. If the foundation is not laid for it, if you don't have someone talking about it or trying to bring that about in the people, then we're just going to be like everybody else. We're going to be just like everybody else. Just like the people, like I said, when we trying to be outcast. You understand? We're trying to be the outcast. You understand? We already are the outcast amongst the rest of society, but now that the so-called black race is trying to be in, or like I said, they suffer from Down syndrome, the majority of our people who want to be down with society, the greater populace, we, within the state of mental, we want to be the outcast. I think it's a beautiful thing to be an outcast. We don't want to do what you do. We don't want to be a part of what you're a part of. The ones of our people, the real men and real women, don't want to engage in that. Come together as a collective, an intelligent collective, to save the majority of our children of who we got left. Don't let your children be Trayvon Martin. Because I don't know what kind of parents Trayvon Martin come from. He had a picture of it with him, his father, and things like that, but I don't know what kind of structure. But I more than likely it was just the average Negro family upbringing. No real structure, no community, just him, his mother, his father. And to black people, they think that's enough. They believe that's enough. That's enough. We don't need to come together. Trayvon got a mother, he got a father, and that's fine. Obviously, it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't. People say, "Oh, well, that could have happened. That was the will of whatever. That could have just happened and whatever." No, that, like I said, things like that don't just happen, because if you notice, they keep happening amongst our people. So this is systematic. Whenever you see things happening, there's a systematic reason on why it's going on. There's a systematic reason why black men are being murdered in this society. Young black boys to the black men in their 60s. Notice you've seen Trayvon Martin, 17 years old, to this black man who's 68, who got killed by the police. Notice that. What did that represent? That covered about 3 generations. That spectrum of 3 generations of black men who are in the crosshairs. Okay? You got young black boys as old as 9, 10 years old who getting handcuffed by police for behavioral problems. They going in there and getting your young black children out of the schools and handcuffing them for behavioral problems. Okay? You had a white teacher call a little black girl a monkey, and I guess she didn't think the little black girl was going to go home and tell her mother, but she told her mother. These are things that are going on. Why? Because we don't control our own schools and our education system. We're not a community or a real society that raises up our own educational system like what the nation did with the University of Islam. We need that again. We're advocating that in the state of Mental. We're advocating the University of Mental. We advocating that. We want to have that as a reality for a school for our children. Help us come together and build. Go to the SOM.info and look at what we're advocating for the evolution of our people, the mental evolution of our people, because we got to leave up out of the black race. The black race is dying. I'm talking to all you people who are really sincere. I'm not talking to these Negroes who just want to be black for the moment and in between the time of going to work for the white man and on the other time where they're not in the club shaking their ass. I'm talking about the real black people who are black and who are about the evolution of our people to the core, to the foundation, the real people. That's who I'm out here to reach. I'm not out here to talk to the majority of our people. I know the majority of our people are finished. I done been gave that up. That was never even my goal to do that. I don't want a lot of people liking me. I don't want a lot of people around me following what I'm talking about. I want the elect. That's why it talks about the elect or the chosen in the book of Revelation, which is the last book. You understand? That's why it talks about the elect, the ones, the 144,000. That's a small number amongst the rest of the world, because the rest of the world, what that's telling you is the rest of the world isn't worth a damn. The mentality of the rest of the world isn't worth a damn. That's why it's talking about that. Malcolm X, he served a purpose. I'm going to say this again. He served a purpose in the Nation of Islam, but after he left, he didn't serve a purpose anymore. Trayvon Martin, his purpose was obviously to come here and be a sacrifice for the evolution of our people. We know how to move. We're supposed to look at certain things to move us forward. You understand? Like, for example, when black people were getting murdered in the South and getting hung off of trees, right? It forced a lot of black people to come north. Okay? These things are supposed to cause reactions in our people, but now our people are slow to react. When black people were getting beaten and lynched and all this stuff and killed in the South and under slavery, and black women getting raped, it forced a lot of black people to want to escape from the plantation and come north, and they did. They ran the hell out of these off of these plantations. So that brought about a reaction. Black men and black women getting lynched in the earlier part of last century brought about organizations like Marcus Garvey's UNIA and the Nation of Islam and the Noble Drew Ali with the Moorish Science Temple. That was a reaction. So now, in the new millennium, the ignorance of our people and the abuse they still suffer at the hands of others is supposed to trigger the birth of an intelligence society, a supreme or divinely intellectual higher society. That's what it's supposed to be triggering, and that is the state of mental, where we are transforming ourselves into mentalists, into a bright race, not a dark race, not a black race, but a bright race, one who is highly intelligent, because we are bright people. We're not black people. We are bright people, people who carry a light, who carry an energy, a power. You can see it coming off of our people who are not in the darkness. You see it. It ain't got nothing to do with light skin and dark skin. We carry a certain aura and a vibration about us that denotes divine intelligence. This is what we have to foster in a new race of children as we gather our people together. That's what I'm doing this for. There's always a bigger picture. It's not about black power and ashe and whatnot. That's for the ignorant. That's for the ones who are caught in the darkness. That's for the ones who got that Pan-African mindset. We don't have a Pan-African mindset. We don't push past Pan-Africanism. We don't push past religion. We don't push past philosophies and ideologies from the white man and other races of people. We are acknowledging our divine and supreme intelligence within ourselves that is now awakening, and we are inheriting our mental capabilities. We leaving them people behind and still want to worship the image of the white man and everybody else. You understand that? And you got a lot of niggas, they want to sit up here in those organizations from the last millennium and try to knock down what it is we doing. You understand that? That's real. That's real. They don't have a solution for the evolution of our people. We in the state of Mentel do. Go to the SOM.info. It's talking about the evolution of a new people. One who will want a people that will inherit or who are inheriting or who are bringing out divine mental capabilities or supreme higher mental capabilities, who are developing that. Because as you make the acknowledgement that you're not going to be a part of or part and parcel with the rest of the black race who is caught in ignorance, that's going to produce your light to be brighter. Your intellect will become brighter. Your mental capabilities will become stronger as you separate yourself from the rest of the black race. That's real. I see it every day. I feel it every day. We're not going to do what it is the black race does. You know, we're not going to be reacting off of incidents. We're not going to allow this society to tweak us. You know, tweak our consciousness, our mentality, and shape it around what they want to. We're not going to do what they do. What they do, the roots. I don't have anything against hip-hop. I just want to say this right now, any kind of hip-hop sound and music or whatever. I don't have anything against it, but in its right perspective, it's just a music. You know, it's not supposed to be nothing we build no community on. You niggas just get carried away. It's a music, just like jazz, just like R&B, things like that. Y'all just took it too far. Y'all want to live the life. You creating a community, a culture behind it, all kind of nonsense. Then why don't you, and it produces that childlike mentality. You know, you don't produce. How do you produce a culture and a community around music? That's ignorance. It's just music. But like I said, our people always want to take things and make it more than what it is. Just like people did with Islam, and the nation and all of them got Islam. It went from being a religion, now it's a culture, now it's a science. No, Islam is just a religion. It's not a culture. It's not a science. You know, stop trying to make things what they are, what they're not. We need something real. We don't need fantasy and falsehood. Our intelligence and our ability to think is real if we remove the fantasy out of it. If we had real communities, if we put more energy into the evolution of our people and actually building a society within the society or outside the society, instead of begging for civil rights and begging for people to march for us and things like that, had we put more energy into that, we would be where we have to be. We wouldn't have to worry about stuff like this. We would either have our own country already. Yeah, because black people need their own country. And I'm not talking about necessarily in Africa, but we need our own country or our own societies here. Same way the Italians got, same way the Jews got. Because I'm not advocating nothing about overthrowing anything. That's not about it. I'm just talking about establishing communities and real societies within a society. You know what I'm saying? We could still go and get coffee and, and have a good time and go to the movies and stuff. I'm not talking about doing away with that, but I'm talking about establishing a real society of people who stick together, just like how the Jews do, just like how the Italians do, a real society of people. Religion is not going to do that for our people. Reason being is because when our people get involved in religion, we start believing that everybody within that religion is our brothers. Same thing how the black people did when we got in Islam. Now the Arabs are your brothers. The same people that were exploiting our people, now you call them your brothers. They're not our people. Or when y'all got in Christianity, the white Christians are your brothers and whatnot, and to the point where y'all end up becoming slaves and lackeys and Uncle Toms under the white Christians, and you accepting their image of Jesus Christ and whatnot, and you on your knees to their image. Or the Israelites, where y'all start arguing back and forth with the Jews about who the real Jews are. Look, we're not interested in that interaction within the state of Mentel. We got our own flag. We're mentalists. That's it. That's our flag, what you see on the SOM.info. That's our teaching, and it's based in logic and common sense. Because everybody always say when I'm posting things on Facebook, oh, brother, that make a lot of sense what you're saying. Everything is based on logic. We're supposed to be logical people. We shouldn't be sitting up here saying things out of our mouths that are not logical. We shouldn't be talking about no beliefs. Our way of thinking should be based in logic, not in beliefs. Belief is ignorance. Belief produces an idea in your head that somebody's going to actually help you in this society or give a damn about you when your children get killed. Like y'all set up here and believe that about Trayvon Martin, that this society actually gave a damn, or that you was going to get some sort of justice. Trayvon Martin parents still waiting on that justice, and they ain't coming. They ain't figured it out yet. But we already done figured it out in the state of Mentel. Y'all keep on begging, you keep your hands out. Keep your hands where they can see them. Keep your hands out and begging. Keep your hands out waiting for other people to solve your problems. Stay on your knees. Stay singing and dancing and trying to create communities from music or whatever trivial nonsense our people are involved in. Stay with a childlike mentality, because obviously the black man don't want to grow up, or the black males don't want to grow up, or the black females don't want to grow up. Y'all still want to listen to childlike music and wear hats with cartoon characters on them and not deal with the fact that your black ass is in the crosshairs in the society. It's just like when you got a pack of wild animals, a pack of dingoes or hyenas and whatnot. If they see a lone sheep running away with the pack and he runs away from the pack, what do? They all attack it. That's the analogy of every other race and our people. You are a lone pack. You are a lone group of people. Individualism, like y'all promote. Like I said, I'm doing me. Do you? Individualism, separatism, i.e., you're able to get pounced upon by the pack. And just because George Zimmerman did what he did by himself, believe me, there's a pack that he runs with. The pack has his back. That's why he ain't sitting in jail right now. That's why you're going to still be waiting for justice. There is no justice for you in the society. None whatsoever. Justice comes when a people stand up collectively. When a people decide they've had enough. You black people, y'all haven't had enough. You understand? Y'all got your heads buried in the sand or up your own asses to realize that nothing's coming for you. The helping hand that you're looking for is at the end of your own damn elbow, or at the end of your own arm. I mean to say, that's the helping hand. The true and living God, Amen, will shine the light on our people and bring about a power in our people once we stand up. But it will not come to you if you're laying down, if you're sitting down, if you're not willing to come together, if you're not willing to be responsible people. Then there will be no evolution for you. There will be no greater power being cut on inside of you. You don't want it. And you're making that clear every time y'all do what you do. We come to the end of our broadcast. For those of you who've listened, I thank you for listening. We'll be back Monday. We don't have a topic as of yet, but it'll always be something that is detrimental, something that is timely, something that is real in our evolution. Expect that. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares. This is State of Mentel Radio. Good night.
I need to use more power. I'm still dope, even if the bag ain't coach, even if I don't smoke till the hydro roach. I'm still dope. Rock a thrift store coat and a fresh pair of moccasins. Comfortable for walking in, no A&R marketing. This is my reality. Still dope, power walk, burning off the calories. Fact and not fallacy. Metal face family, imminent fatality. Taking us to casualty. I got it, it's cool. Just part of the school, and I'm acing the lesson this time. So quit stressing. Still dope, vibrant natural game. No ring, no chain. Still bringing the pain. Still dope, got no choice but to cope. Listen, take notes. I'm showing you the ropes. Still dope, very high dosage. My approach is lights out, buenas noches. Hold my glasses so I can get rid of it. Send them home, tail tuck, holding they did it. Cold as a Guinness, 1 punch miss. Yo, chill, watch the table, a fish might flip. Crack jokes, spit, pop mad shit. That's what it's made for, cop that quick. Drop that dick, butterfinger oopsie. By the way, you publish it for Jordans and a Lucy. The 012C, solo not groupie. All over they ass like sweats by Juicy. Cats is push like Sagwa and Morris. Stay spitting lines, there is no chorus. Deploying the troublesome, sleeping bubblegum, that's a double done. Hum if you feel where I'm coming from. Do it to your lips and then you gotta go for it. I stay moving forward, I baby bear courage. Knick-knack, paddywhack, fuck your critics. This time on the grind when it comes to the finish. Conquer the edge, vicious like Sid Blow. Not an info, it's a fish show. She rock mics, you wait to the tail. She rock shows like DMC, Rockadale. She rock shells, manicured nails, rock for every veil with a sip to inhale. Holding she own cone of homegrown shrubbery. Won't go hungry, the flow too lovely. Leaving grills tinted on the sous vide rented. Classic is vintage, Impalas is all tinted, raw business. Like how the wifeys get hit it, authentic. The track is so loved, I'm all in it, all quit it. Of course I'm inclined to shine, did it. Line for line with it, climbing infinite. Tú no sabes, yo soy una bien mala madre. Confident aren't we? Played it smartly. Word to Dio, Straya and Lito, flow movie trio, roll the dice, Chico. They're crazy, decent, insanely sleep with strangely sleep with one eye open, not joking, outspoken, provoking and choking, ego stroking his name, word Bonded and James, go along with the flame, way ahead of the game, still playing the same, royalty in my veins, it'll always remain, forever doing my thing, solo with who I can hang, like he banging Lang, breathing into the yang, they got placenta for brains, testing my venomous flame, who's get fitted for bangs, get rid of for change, some people think I'm deranged, others a little bit strange, just trying to battle my cane, cause I'm way out of their range.
Bring Star to me. You are a mutant exactly like her.